Hello and welcome everyone. The Upper Down, aka Tud, and today we're going to be playing some more Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. Let's take a look at our party here. We have Yatulio in the Black Mage role. He's working on Belizera, the Tier 2 Frost magic. Then we have Leticia here in the Elementalist role. She's almost done with Heavy Dust, which is an immobilizing magic. We have Kaif here, just completed Haste, and is now working on Cheer, which is a weapon attack increasing ability. Lasts for 1 turn. Next we have Montblanc in the Black Mage role, working on Thyra. Tud is working on Air Blast and Strike Back. Looks like another 200 ability points to complete both of those. Eldina, she is working on Sleep and Catch. Looks like 1 more battle to complete Sleep, and then we will move on to the next ability that we want to learn. Nectsu is working on Steel Helmet. It looks like another 110 ability points to complete that. So before we go into the next boss battle, which is the only battle mission I believe that is available to us at the moment, Diamond Rain, we're actually going to try to complete some other abilities first. I'm going to try to get my characters to the point where they have some advanced job abilities before we go into that boss fight, because it can be a bit challenging. Metal Hunt. I found a turtle burial ground and a mountain shrine. I keep going back in hopes that I might find some adamantite. Kitess, Traveler. Alright, well, let's go ahead and send out one of our guys here. Trying to find the best suited option here. Who could use the ability points the most? I would say Nectsu is the best choice here. Right now, it would take 110 ability points to get him to the next, to where he can work on the next ability. That would be just over 2 battles, so if we send him on this mission here, that will push him over the edge there and allow him to only require 2 battles instead of 3 to finish his ability. So let's go ahead and march around the map here to complete that mission. And Ludia Pass is under attack. Hopefully we get 30 ability points from this Metal Hunt mission. That would allow us then to do the territory battle over there in Lucia and get Nectsu completed on his ability. Now I do have to continue wandering around the map just a little bit more. Ooh, Geyser Plains is now also under attack. Fantastic, those are worth 80 ability points each. Nectsu here, Metal Hunt was a success. 30 ability points. We've gained 10 X potions for leveling up one of our skills. And Linny, the Mog Knight, a special character, has just joined our party. Alright, let's take a look at Linny and see what he has access to. So he starts off with Mog Guard and Ultima Charge. Mog Guard is a focus power, focusing ability to increase weapon defense and magic resistance. Ultima Charge is a very powerful attack that does a lot of damage, however it does require quite a bit of magic to be cast. Let's go ahead and see what we have access to as far as equipment. There is an armor that you can equip that will give Linny a special ability, but I do not currently own it. I will have to go purchase it. Let's go ahead and pick up Mog Lance. That is the Moogle Knight's equivalent to Air Render for the fighter. Alright, so a couple of items we need to buy here. We need to buy a shield. We need to buy the chest piece, and we need to buy the boots. So the gold armor will give last haste to the Moogle Knight. The opal shield will give shield barrier. And we also want the dash boots because the Moogle Knight only has 3 movement, and that will not do. Alright, so let's go ahead and equip our gold armor here. And our shield and boots. So that will give us last haste as a reaction and shield bearer as a support ability. Fantastic. Last haste as a reaction when Linny drops to a critical health, he will get last haste, which will boost his turn speed in the rotation. Very helpful to have. Alright, let's go in and help Lutia pass here. No use of blades or items. Alright, so with blades, I will have to double check to make sure that none of the characters I'm using will be using blades. Yatulio is using the staff. I don't think I will deploy Leticia here. Let's go ahead and knife in the battle. Montblanc is using a staff as well. And Tud, he is in the fighter role. He is using a blade. Okay. So I could deploy him in this battle, however he would not be able to attack. Linny, I believe, is also using a blade. Yes. We could put Eldina in this battle. However, it would be a waste of some ability points. I'm not going to do that. Instead, let's go ahead and put Nektu in here. This will allow him to complete the ability that he is working on. Alright, defeat all enemies. Let's go ahead and start off with haste here to boost Yatulio, since he will be the MVP of this battle. Let's go ahead now and morph into a snake. Nothing the healer can really do other than boost defense here. So Shell will boost the magical resistance of the soldier. That effect will last for 3 turns. Let's go ahead and use Air Render here to try and remove one of the 2 archers. We have succeeded. That attack did 68 damage and was fatal. The sole remaining archer will now move forward and make an attack against my Moogle, Montblanc. For 2 damage. The soldier will now take his turn. He's going to go ahead and attack my new move caster here. damage mana points will activate, and the damage will be transferred to the mana points. Alright, well, let's go ahead and take a look here at abilities we may want to use. I'm going to go ahead and throw a dagger to attempt to disable the archer. We have done 28 damage with the dagger and succeeded at disabling the archer. Let's go ahead now and turn the soldier here into a frog. 60% chance to hit here. Unfortunately, we did not succeed with the frog shape. We did, however, place poison on the enemy. Now I'm going to go ahead and use Ice Breath. 50 damage. $55. Their healer's going to go ahead and move forward here and attempt to heal the soldier. 27 health. Soldier is now back up to 52. Let's go ahead and use Poison Frog once again from behind this time for a 70% chance. We have succeeded at frog shape this time around. Alright, let's go ahead and remove the healer from the combat. 67 damage with an 80% chance to hit. We have succeeded. Wilfred is disabled, so he will simply move and end his turn. What will the frog, formerly known as a soldier, do? He will attack my new moon here, triggering the reaction ability and doing 1 damage to his mana points. I'm going to go ahead and throw a black magic down here using a tier 2 fire spell. If we succeed at hitting both, we will end the battle. Ooh, unfortunately we were just short of a fatal hit there. Let's go ahead and make use of the polearm here. We can strike from 2 tiles away. We would do 59 damage, which would be fatal. And the battle is complete. Everyone has earned 80 ability points. Utulio here. Help Ludia was a success. Nexu has learned Steel Helmet. And we have freed Ludia Pass. Let's see now what we have available for Nexu to work on. Armor, accessory, and helmet are all complete. Let's go ahead and get him started on Steel Shield. Now we still have the clan battle in Giza Plains. We're going to head on over there now and get that cleared up. But before we can, we do have another clan battle. Let's take a look at our laws here. No use of shell or wind. No need to be concerned with either of those. We have access to 6 party members here. I'm going to go ahead and take Leticia out of this battle and instead put the red mage in her stead, Eldina. Alright, let us begin. Alright, let's go ahead and start off with haste here, as usual. Go ahead and morph into a snake. Alright, Utulio has leveled up. I'll go ahead and move forward here. Out of range of most of the enemies. None of the enemies here are especially difficult, so nothing to really worry about here. Go ahead and get Nexu set up for next turn. We're going to move forward here on Tug and use Air Render. 50% chance to hit for about 60 damage. Let's go ahead and give it a try. We were successful. That now puts the warrior at critical health. And we should be able to finish this off here with a well-placed magic spell. So we can use a tier 2 Thunder. 50% chance to strike each enemy. We've taken the warrior out and dealt 41 damage to the archer. Next up we have the red mage Eldina. She will unfortunately be too far away to do much of anything, so we'll just simply move and wait. Esteban, the soldier. He will move forward here and end his turn. Nothing much to do. Oliver has a chance to do something here. Let's see what he does. He did not do it. He had the opportunity to use Chocobo Rush, which would deal damage in a straight line in front of him. He opted instead to end his turn. Now the Fencer here does have the Reflex reaction, which would make her more or less immune to physical damage. So it would be nice to have her turned into a frog as to not have to worry about the reaction ability. However, it only has a 50% chance, whereas I have a 60% chance to successfully use this on the soldier. So instead we'll go ahead and use that. We've turned the soldier into a purple frog and successfully applied poison. Unfortunately, speed is a big problem here for my Templar. Damage and poison, 91% chance to hit, and she missed. That is quite impressive. Let's go ahead and use Air Render here to take out the Moogle here. Ooh, 59 damage would be exactly what we would need. 73% chance to hit. Let's see what happens. We did not successfully take out the enemy. He does have 1 health point remaining. Let's go ahead and take out the Fencer here with a Poison Frog. 70% chance to hit. We now have 2 frogs, both of which are poisoned. much to really do here with Eldina other than a regular melee attack. 45 damage with an 88% chance. This will take the enemy out of the combat. Alright. Only one enemy remains that can do anything other than melee attack for 1 damage, and that is the Moogle at the top. Purple Frog is going to go ahead and attack Eldina for 1 damage. Ooh, critical 1 damage. Alright, gonna go ahead and move up here. I am too far away to strike the Moogle, however I will go ahead and take out the Purple Frog. 88% chance, and we did 100 damage. I don't believe the Templar will be able to get close enough to attack. No, it doesn't look like it now that the Moogle has moved. 6 damage, counterattack triggered, and a dodge. Alright, we do have access to the jump ability now that we have a whole arm equipped. However, we are just out of range for the Moogle, so we're going to go ahead and attack the other frog. 70% chance to do 80 damage. We have done 76. I believe we might be out of range for magic as well. Ooh, no, we are just close enough. 73% chance to remove the removal from the combat here and end the battle. We have succeeded. That went well. Let's keep up the good work. 50 ability points. Type has mastered Cheer. Eldina Sleep. Let's go ahead and replace their weapons here. We already have Haste. We don't need Sacred Combo, because we already have a combo equipped. We already have the Cheer ability mastered. Let's go ahead and get Warcry. Warcry reduces the speed of nearby units, so all units surrounding the Templar will have reduced speed. Good to use if you are surrounded and low on health and needing to get away. Let's go ahead and take a look at Eldina here. She is done with sleep. We can get her started on Thunder, Cure, Fire, or Poison. I think we should go ahead and pick up Thunder here, because we have several characters that currently have a Thunder Vest equipped, and this would effectively heal them if they are caught in the crossfire. Alright, let's go ahead and go into our territory battle here. We have 3 bugs, and in the top right corner is a Moogle. No use of Shell or Wind here. Where are we at with Lutulio? We are at 80. I've just started his new ability, so we'll go ahead and put him here. Montblanc should also be at 80, yes. Okay. Tud, I believe, is at 150, yes, okay. So let's go ahead and put him in the combat here as well. Linny hasn't started anything yet, so we'll move on to Eldina. We just gave lightning to Nexu, working on Steel Shield at 50. Unfortunately, we do not have any more space to deploy anyone else. I'm actually going to remove Utulio here, and instead, I'm going to place Eldina. As far as abilities that are being worked on, I do not need... It's not of major concern that Utulio get his Tier 2 Black Magic ability completed. It is, however, of higher concern that I get Eldina completed on her magical abilities as quickly as possible. I have other routes, other job classes that I'd like her to take part in. We have a 50% chance to put to sleep the red and the blue bugs here. Let's see if we are successful at either. We missed the red bug. We have successfully put to sleep the blue bug. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the second blue bug here. 61 damage, 80% chance to hit. It would trigger a counter attack. See if I have anything that does any more damage. 47, that is slightly less. 58, okay, yes, it would appear that Air Render is the best option here. Counter has been triggered, and we took 13 damage. Red Bug is going to go ahead and attempt to attack Eldina here. 40 damage with a 50% chance to hit, and it was successful. The Moogle is going to go ahead and move forward to end his turn. Let's go ahead and throw some black magic out there. Tier 2 Fire Spell. 75% chance to hit. We've taken out the first blue bug. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and move back behind the red bug here and double cast some magic. First we're going to throw out a Thunder Spell, which will do 29 damage with a 90% chance to hit. Then we're going to trigger Put Him to Sleep, which has a 70% chance to hit. We have succeeded with the Lightning Spell. Now, can we put him to sleep? We can indeed. Not able to quite get close enough for a melee attack. Let us instead do Ice Breath. That will do 48 damage. Don't think that's the best use of my time here. We don't have enough magic to really do much else. I'm instead going to move forward here and use my Sacred Tech Cheer. This will improve my weapon attack. So on the following turn, I can take the enemy out. We have leveled up on Kite. Moogle is now at half health. He's going to go ahead and use Chocobo Rush here to hit Mont Blanc. For 25 damage. We're going to go ahead and move forward here at an angle to try to get a better hit chance on the removal. We have a 73% chance to hit for a fatal amount of damage. 55. Eldina's speed has worn out. We're going to go ahead and once again double cast here. We're going to cast Lightning and then Sleep once again. Lightning has a 100% chance to hit, which will wake up the enemy. Now we will cast Sleep, which should have a 70% chance to hit. Fantastic. That will reset the sleep timer on the enemy. Are we close enough to use a stunt ability? We are. Let's go ahead and with a 100% chance deal damage here and disable the enemy. Since his sleep timer is about to wear off anyway. 23 damage. We unfortunately were not successful at applying the debuff, but that's fine. Earth damage and bind. Sandstorm, he is attempting to blind my character. 42 damage done. The blind did not take effect though. Let's go ahead and attempt to remove this blue bug from the combat here. 80% chance. We have succeeded. Alright, one enemy remains. Nothing for Tud to do here, he is too far away. Eldina, I believe, has just enough magic left to cast Thunder once more. 29 damage it will do. That could make or break the fight. For keeping Eldina alive, I should say. 31 damage, that was successful. And the battle has ended. Let's take a look at what abilities we have mastered. Help Giza went well. Now for the next one. 80 ability points. Montblanc has mastered Fyra. Now with that, Montblanc has gained access to another role here. He can switch to Time Mage. With the Firewheel Rod, we can work on Haste. I'm going to go ahead and equip the Fortune Ring here to nullify Sleep and Doom. Now we can either keep the Stunt abilities or the Black Magic abilities. Given that Time Magic costs so much mana, instead of switching to Black Magic, I'm going to keep Stunt abilities as my secondary. And we're going to work on Haste. We now have two characters, Ife and Montblanc, that can cast Haste. That will help us to speed our party up, so we can get things done faster. Let's go ahead and hop into the pub here. Let's go ahead and take Chocobo help here. It is a 5-day mission. I believe we have one character that is almost done with his ability. Definitely want to make sure we get that done before going into another combat. Chocobo help. Need. Help during the Chocobo spawning season. Private room, meals, no experience required, childcare, and any race can accept. Sasasha, Chocobo Ranch. Alright, Utulio, I believe, is only 20 points away. let's go ahead and send him out on this mission. And this will only take 5 days, so let's just take a couple of steps around the map here. Utulio here, Chocobo helped deftly handle. And he has mastered Blizzara. I also noticed we got access to a fortune ring, and I definitely want to take a look at that. Is there anyone that could potentially equip that does not have anything better? I think I might actually give that to Leticia here, as opposed to the gauntlet. It would increase the resistance. Unfortunately, she would lose a bit of weapon attack, but she would gain nullification to Sweep and Doom. Alright, let's take a look at what Utulio has unlocked now. He now has access to Time Magic as well. With a mana pool of 91, I definitely think it's worth switching over here. Don't believe I have any armor currently that can give him any sort of special abilities as a Time Mage. No, it does not look like I do. So instead we will simply equip something here, and there's the Firewheel Rod. Give him the Scarab back as well as his shoes. We have Morph equipped still as the secondary, and Haste now as the primary. So we now have 3 characters that can cast Haste. The more the merrier, I always say. Let us now go ahead and move on to the next story battle, Diamond Rain. Word is, diamonds are falling in the rain in Eisenfield. If it's true, we'll be rich. Gaina, street here. We would get 2 magic rings from completing this. Let's go ahead and see what all the fuss is about. That is in Eisenfield here. The current laws are no use of swords or aim. Given that this mission does not have an expiration date, I am going to move around the map until that law changes. The laws have changed. No use of blades or items now. Unfortunately, I still do not like that, as 2 of my characters use blades. Definitely want to have access to my full crew here. Alright, let's see what the laws are now. They are still the same. Wonderful. Usually those laws are supposed to change every month, but it would seem that that is not happening at the moment. The rain's getting worse. Better watch my footing. We have a monster battle here. No use of blades and items as we discussed. So we have two new units here. We have the blue dragon and the blue flan. Now I do want to get access to both of those. Now for next two here, I'm going to go ahead and switch his secondary over to Hunt, so that we can capture some of these monsters. Let's take a look at their levels. We have Rimenchi, the level 9 dragon, Brimev, the level 8 red bomb, Helpsal, the level 8 blue flan, Sekbuff, the level 8 blue dragon, and Arigan, the level 9 red snake. So I have to keep 3 enemies alive, as I need to capture 2, and they cannot be the last monster remaining in the combat. So I think my best option here would be to keep the red bomb, the blue flan, and the bottom blue dragon alive. So my priority is going to be to take out the top 2 here. Now, I'm torn between whether I should keep Leticia or filter in the red mage. I am thinking I should filter in the red mage here. Just having access to the sleep ability would be very helpful, as well as some elemental magic to work on the blue flan, since he is practically immune to all physical attacks. Alright, well, let's go ahead and start off here with a haste ability. We will go ahead and haste our Moogle here. Now, Vitulio will do the same, but on himself instead. Mont Blanc has gotten his turn here. Go ahead and use haste here on Nektu. Nothing to be done yet this turn, still too far away to reach any of the enemies. Go ahead and remove or greatly diminish the health of the red snake. This is probably going to net me a yellow card. Oh, it did not. Okay, so actions do not impact the weapon being used, or rather, weapons do not impact the ability being used. Strike back triggered. We took no damage and we missed, so we dealt no damage as well. Let's go ahead and cast Sleep here. 30% chance and 45% chance. Not liking those odds. But as that is all we can do at the moment, let's go ahead and give it a try. Wow, we succeeded at not one, but both. That means we have now a 100% chance to hit with any ability that we choose to use. Help Sal is now going to go ahead and move forward here and cast Magic. Ice damage. Looks like he's using a Tier 2 Blizzard spell. We successfully hit Tud for 28 and Eldina for 32. Revenchi's going to go ahead and attack Nektu, 34% chance to hit. He missed, triggered a counter, and that also missed. Let's go ahead here and attempt an attack before we move. 37 damage, 60% chance to hit. We struck, and counter missed. Let's go ahead and move forward here. Their second blue dragon is going to go ahead and attack here, using Ice Breath. Luckily that missed our red mage, otherwise it may have been fatal. Go ahead and attempt to disable the blue dragon here on the left. We successfully hit for 14. And we have disabled the enemy. We're going to go ahead and use Cheer here. I'm going to go ahead and cast Poison Frog with a 100% chance to hit. Let's go ahead and take the bomb out of the equation. The bomb is now a purple frog. Nektu has gained his turn. The blue dragon on the left is almost at half health. That should put me at about a 10% chance to capture. Instead, let us go ahead and do a regular attack to try to get his health a little lower. I'm going to go ahead and use Mont Blanc here to attempt to disable the Flan, so that way he cannot use any more magical abilities. 85% chance to hit. We did 1 damage. And we did miss on the disable. Now I don't believe Tud has any abilities at the moment that can work against the blue Flan. Now, Air Blast would only do 1 damage, and Air Render would only do 1 damage. No point in doing anything like that. Let's take a look at what damage would look like on the blue dragon here. 47. That would bring him down to critical health. we need our red mage to put to sleep the blue flan. If we attempted to do Poison Frog here on the blue dragon, due to our current positioning, it would only be a 50% chance to succeed. We're going to go ahead and reposition here. %60 chance. Let's go ahead and try it. We have failed to inflict frog shape. We did, however, inflict poison. Let's go ahead and move forward here with Elvina. We are going to go ahead and double cast Sleep. I'm choosing to double cast here because it is only a 40% chance to succeed. Hopefully one of the two casts will succeed. We missed with the first. And we succeeded with the second. Let's go ahead and hit the second blue dragon here. 57 damage. We got a little extra 62 out of that. 3 health remaining on the other blue dragon. Looks like he is going to go ahead and use an attack here. Unfortunately, he has put me in a bit of a bind here, placement-wise. We have a 24% chance to capture this blue dragon. Let's go ahead and give that a try. We have succeeded. All that remains for us to capture now is the blue flan. Nexu has leveled up. Let's go ahead and haste Elvina here. And give her the opportunity to deal some damage to the blue flan. We should have the ability now to take out the other blue dragon. 50 damage. Instead, let's go ahead and take out the red snake. She's going to wake up soon anyway, just to not have to deal with her. Alright, we're going to go ahead and move back here. Let's take a look at what damage we would be able to inflict here with Thunder. 33, that would potentially be fatal. I'm not sure I want to take the risk there. Well, in the event that we do eliminate the enemy, it's fine because we will have access to more blue flans later on. Getting access to the dragon was the primary goal here. Let's go ahead and turn the last remaining enemy into a frog here. Alright, this should be able to finish this here. 58 damage. We crit for 80. So the last enemy remaining has 44 health and is currently frog-shaped. He's going to make a melee attack towards Montblanc. It succeeded, triggered the counter, and we have healed the bomb due to having a fire weapon equipped. We are going to go ahead and use some thunder magic here. We'll do 2 casts of it. Hopefully we succeed in hitting with both. That will end the battle. First strike was successful. And so is the second. That will bring to a close this battle. Jeez, it sure can rain here. I was kind of hoping the diamonds would be crystals, but I guess... What was that? It disappeared. What could it have been? It wasn't snow. Maybe this rain does have something to do with the crystals. Diamond Rain went well. Now, for the next one. We've gained 40 ability points. And 10,000 gold. Very nice. Eldina has mastered Catch and Thunder. Our clan has leveled up. And we have gained a Scarab. We also now have access to Rhoda Volcano. I am going to go ahead and place that over here. So we can take a look at what treasures we've unlocked. Another chest piece, fantastic. We love those. A rubber suit, which is wearable by the bunny girls. And in Devon, Mantite. Okay. Let's go ahead and swap out the weapon that Eldina is using here. She has Thunder and Sleep down. We have access to Cure, Fire, and Poison at the moment. So let's go ahead and grab Fire. And we also got access to a Scarab there in that combat. I believe we have one character that could use that. The Scarab has slightly more resistance on it, as well as nullification to immobilize, disable, and frog. Alright, and with that, we will bring this episode to a close. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to like and subscribe. It helps my channel out a lot. Or check me out on Twitch. Toss me a follow and keep an eye out for more. Alright, until next time.